Who's the villain now, Flash?
Hi everyone, today we're talking about The Flash, Season 3 Comic-Con trailer that just came out. So the new season comes out on October 4th, but until then we can kind of speculate on some of the images that they've released. So we're gonna do a trailer breakdown. First of all, great trailer.
Yeah, fantastic trailer. It's a good balance between what happened so far and what is going to happen. Yes. And as a reminder, season 2 ended with Barry Allen going back into the past and actually stopping Eobard Thawne from killing his mother, therefore changing everything. And Flashpoint
is happening.
And it looks like this trailer is all about the consequences of that action.
A lot of people refer to this as Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a comic book based on the same premise where Barry Allen finds himself in a sort of alternate timeline where everything has changed and his mother's still alive. But this looks a little different, so we'll focus on this trailer for now and we'll do a different video talking about Flashpoint more specifically. So Barry saved his mother and now both his parents are alive.
Oh yeah.
Looking very happy.
It's good to see. It's good to see that.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. But what I found interesting about the trailer is that while his parents are alive and well and has a great relationship with them, it seems, and he's really happy, all the other important relationships in his life have completely changed and are not even there at all. Which I'm like, save your parents, no friends, friends, no parents. Like, you know, it's just kind of like this interesting, if you change one thing, then everything else that made you you and everything that was important in your life is kind of gone.
Yeah, it's, well, gone or replaced, right? We don't know. Let's actually go down the list of people to see how those relationships have changed. Iris.
They apparently just meet.
Yeah.
It's like, who knew? Oh, you're Barry, right. Wes Allen, though. It was happening. We could touch it, and then they took it all away. Just like Caitlyn.
Okay, first of all, get off of the Caitlyn train, all right? And for those of you who don't know, Caitlyn is Zoom and
it's
Caitlyn.
Hunter Zolomon
and Caitlyn, which is wrong in so many ways. Anyways, it's interesting, though, because while Wes Allen didn't happen in our normal timeline, it's possible that this actual new timeline might actually make the whole setup a little bit easier. If anything, it makes it a little bit unfair because Barry now remembers things about her that she doesn't even know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's got an advantage.
Yeah, but is she the same Iris, though? Does she like the same thing? But you don't know. It seems like she's very perceptive, as in, like, she's realizing, wait, we there's something that we had in wherever you're coming from. So I think that's going to be interesting to see that relationship evolve in this timeline. And then we should also talk about Joe.
Yeah.
Who apparently does not like Barry.
I can understand how potentially this relationship is not working out well because obviously because he never took care of Barry growing up, he never really developed a relationship with him. He didn't really change. Maybe actually, you know, taking care of Barry changed him. You know, it's possible that since that didn't happen, he didn't become the Joe that we know today, you know? So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the consequences for the personalities of the characters as well as they change, because for the characters that we have, we can't assume that they all have the same personalities.
Yeah. Speaking of, we can't assume they have the same personalities. Cisco
certainly
does not have. I mean, part of him are the same, but he's the richest man in the world. Head of Ramona Industries.
Look, all I'm hearing here is that...
the snark is still there, but...
all I'm hearing here is that in this timeline, Cisco made it big. And I feel that, you know, Barry has been pulling it back. You know, I feel like he's been holding it back. I'm like, Cisco, my boy, what's up? But he doesn't look like a bad guy. Right? No. He just looks like he's like Cisco, but rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And it does maybe seem that he's working in collaboration with Wally West because he was saying, why did you bring him here? Why? So it's possible.
Because Wally West finally
is Kid Flash in this alternate timeline.
Yes. which we've been like dying to see forever. That costume, though.
Yeah. Looked pretty cool.
Love it.
Looked pretty dope. So I'm going to be very, very interested to see how that thing actually happened in that universe, right? Because if he's Kid Flash, did Barry ever become the Flash? I mean, we can see that he is.
Which is interesting because in the comic, he's not, like, him changing the past actually
changes the fact that
he's not the Flash. So in this one, it looks like he still has his powers. Kid Flash has the powers, he regained them. Kid Flash, and then there's a third speedster, it looks like, in a blue suit, who's a villain.
Looks like a villain.
Seems like.
Yeah, they look like
Flash is trying to stop him.
Yeah, they look like they're in a confrontation of some sort. Yeah. Nothing that there's anything wrong with Blue, you know. I ain't knocking that. The new player in town could be Tom Felton, aka Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Tom Felton has been cast. He plays a character named Julian Dorn. He's a CSI that works with Barry and who's very suspicious of Barry, feels like there might be something more to him. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people guess that he has to be more than just Julian Dorn. There's got to be some bigger plan than just like a CSI who's suspicious of Barry, because, I mean, if you're going to get Tom Felton,
you're gonna give him something.
You're gonna give him something to do. So could he be this speedster, or he could be even someone that we haven't seen? They might not even want to reveal who he is, because maybe if we saw his character, we'd piece it together really quickly.
For sure.
Speaking of, we actually don't even see him in the trailer.
No.
We don't even see Julian Dorn in the trailer, so it's like...
Speaking of speedsters, another speedster that we actually see is Eobard Thawne, who happens to be sort of like explaining away what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, he's locked up. It appears Barry has locked him up.
Yes.
Someone's been learning from Zoom.
Yes.
Just saying.
Zoom has had a bad influence.
Yeah.
You know, you probably have to be worried when Eobard Thawne is like the voice of reason.
So basically he's saying, you know, this is a mirage, right? This is Flashpoint. This was not supposed to happen the way it was supposed to happen.
He seems to imply that it's going to affect things even more than what we've seen now. And it's going to even affect him. So he's like, no, we need to put it back, dude.
Yeah. So it's definitely affecting Barry, right? Because he's definitely having visions where I think it's memories colliding potentially between his old timeline and the new timeline. In the original Flashpoint storyline in the comic book, that actually came up because he was dealing with conflicting memory timelines, you know, meshing together, and you're like, which one's gonna survive? Are you still you? Or are you not you?
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting outcomes that I'm interested in.
But that scene with Eobard Thawne is really...
Who's the villain now, Flash? Who's the villain now? I'm so psyched for this new season, just because there's so many elements that are opened up because of this little change in the storyline. Just opens
like
a whole lot. Yeah, it's a reset button, but at the same time, it makes us look at the Flash in a whole new light.
Yeah. I do want to point out that there are also, in addition to, you know, Julian Dorn, the character, not making an appearance in the trailer, we also don't see Caitlin or Harrison Wells and Jesse, whom we know are going to be back.
Or Zoom. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Zoom
Zoom was a pretty big deal in the last season. It's possible that he could be a big deal in this season. Because there's still the whole Earth 2, right? Earth 2 doesn't disappear.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't disappear.
When season 2 ended, I was like, oh, okay. What does that mean? How is that going to affect? I don't know. So many questions. I feel like I'm getting a few answers in this one, and enough to tease me, enough to be like, oh, this is going to be so interesting. I hope they delve into this new timeline for a few episodes. I don't know if I want the whole season to be about this.
I would suspect this is like half the season. Yeah. Easy.
Well, it depends what you want to do with it.
You're gonna have to explore a lot of new storylines, right? Like
yeah, it depends. It could be a few episodes, it could be half a season. It depends how interesting you make it. But I definitely am curious. I mean, if you're gonna do a reset, such a huge reset, you have to explore it. And also, the question is, if they do put it back to the way it was, will it be exactly the way it was?
Yeah.
Will things have changed a little bit, you know? And then if you put it back the way it was, where do you go from there? So many options. I mean, The Flash is always really exciting, really surprising. So I'm excited.
But really what I want to know, what was your favorite part of the trailer?
Theo Barthon, I think.
Right? Right? Oh,
I don't know why. I just
I'm
like this, because he's probably the only one that knows what's going on, and I like that. You have Barry in denial a little bit because I think he likes that he changed things, but Theo Barthon is like, dude, no.
I love the interaction between both of them, and that's the part I'm actually looking forward to a lot in the upcoming season. And I'm hoping that it does highlight the consequences for Barry doing such a drastic action, and I'm really hoping to see that. But that's us. What about you? What was your favorite part of this trailer? Comment below, let us know.
Don't forget to subscribe because we'll be having more videos of Flash and other things.
And we'll be reviewing The Flash this season.
Yes, we will. That's true.
Jesus.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
I can totally imagine now Cisco being like, I was the richest man in the world, man. Like,
It's like,
why'd you change
but
it back
I'm
though?
rich. I'm so rich. I love being rich.